Hello, my dear children. Today we will again deal with a very interesting chapter, Vedic civilization. You will find this chapter very interesting because many of the terms that I will use in this chapter or the things that I will tell you, you can very easily relate because many of the things like religion and the caste system, all you can relate it with. We still follow all these systems. So, definitely, you are going to find it very interesting. Let's begin the chapter. As I told you in the previous video of Indus Valley civilization, around 1800 BCE, if you remember, I told you, was when Indus Valley civilization declined. It was 1800 BCE when Indus Valley civilization declined. And as I also told you, the historians, they differ on the opinions that why it actually declined, whether it was due to natural calamity or any tribe attacked Indus people. The historians still differ in their opinions. The most trusted theory is that Aryans, who were said to be nomads. Nomad means someone who doesn't stay at one place. They keep on changing their place and they move in group. So it is believed that nomads who came from Central Asia in around 1500 BC. They came from Central Asia, that is through Khyber Pass. Khyber Pass is Khyber Pass is a small mountain pass and it in the province of Pakistan, and it is on the border of Afghanistan. And they came from Central Asia through Khyber Pass and they moved in where Indus Valley civilization grew. Then they attacked and the Indus Valley people and they themselves settled there. Once they settled down there, the new civilization arose, and that is known as Vedic period or Vedic civilization. And this civilization is divided into two periods. One is early Vedic period and the other one is later Vedic period. So as I told you that Aryans came from Central Asia, okay, or as in your book it's written that they lived in northeast Iran or in Central Asia. Due to some reasons, as I told you, they were nomad. They never settled down at one place. So from Central Asia, they started moving to different places. Some moved to Europe, others to Western Asia, and some came to India. The Aryans who came to India are known as Indo-Aryans. Since the Vedas were composed, all the Vedas, four Vedas, Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. Since all these four Vedas were composed in this period, it is known as Vedic period. And Vedas are also the chief source of information about this era. And other archaeological excavations at Hastinapur and Atranjikhera, that is in modern UP, have also yielded valuable clues about the Vedic age. The word Veda is a Sanskrit word and it means knowledge. And Aryans, as I told you, they composed the four Vedas. And in all these four Vedas, the hymns and the praise of different gods and goddesses exist. Initially, they were passed from one generation to another orally, and later they were written down. Not only the Vedas, but Brahmanas and Upanishads and all the two epics, Ramayana and the Mahabharata, they all give us the major informations about the Aryans. As I told you earlier also, the Vedic period was divided into two periods, early Vedic period and later Vedic period. Initially, the Aryans lived in the land known as Sapta Sindhu, land of the seven rivers. And these are your seven rivers in the map. It was around this area they resided. As you can see, that mostly it covers the region of Pakistan, Jammu and Kashmir, and it moves towards the Punjab region also. So it was this land that is known as Sapta Sindhu, the land of seven rivers. Aryans called this region Brahmavarta, land of the gods. As I told you, they were nomads. They again migrated towards Gangetic Valley. And Aryans called this area, the Gangetic Valley, Aryavarta, the land of the Aryans. The Aryans were divided into many tribes, means into many small groups they were divided, and each tribe was called Janas, and they settled down in different areas, and they had number of villages came under Jana, and they were called Gramas. The families in the Gramas, or you say villages, were very loyal to the tribe, in the tribe which they belonged. They were very loyal to it. And if there is extreme loyalty towards a community and towards a tribe, definitely it will cause difference from the another tribe, right? So, and due to their differences, the tribes quite often fought also. And the chief of the tribe was called Rajan. And this Rajan was chosen for his strength and bravery. Whoever was brave and was strong was chosen as the Rajan of the tribe. And what he was, since he was the ruler, he ruled as per the wishes of his tribe. Rajan fought all the wars and also offered prayers on behalf of his people. Then now Rajan was assisted by Senani or the commander of the army, and helped in the military duties. The Purohita or the chief priest, who performed religious ceremonies and advised on religious issues. The Gramani or the village headman informed the Rajan about the developments in the village. So once again, if you see, there were tribes settled down in particular areas. This tribe was known as Janas. Then each Jana consisted number of villages known as Gramas, and in each Grama there were family who were loyal to their tribe. Then they chose Rajan. Rajan was assisted by Senani, Purohit and Gramani. Senani was helped Rajan in military duties. Purohit advised on the religious issues, and Gramani informed Rajan about the developments in the village. And then there were two tribal assemblies known as Sabhas and Samitis. Sabha was a council of the elder and important members of the tribe to advise Rajan on important issues. And then Samiti was a general assembly where all members of the tribe participated, and anyone could speak about the problem concerning the tribe. These Samitis also kept a check on the powers of the Rajan. So once again I'll tell you, there were two tribal assemblies, Sabha, in which only elder and the important members of tribe participated to advise Rajan on important issues. And Samiti was a general assembly where all the members of the tribe came and they spoke about their problems. Now let's see the social life. The Rig Vedic society was divided between Aryans and the people whom Aryans called the Dasas or Dasayu. And then there was division on the basis of occupation. And this divided the society into four groups. Still, you have heard these terms that I am going to tell you. The first were the Brahmins, then came the Kshatriyas, and then the Vaishyas, and then the Shudras. The Brahmins were priests who performed religious ritual and imparted education. The Kshatriyas were warriors who fought wars. The Vaishyas worked as farmers, craftsmen, merchants, and traders. And the Shudras served the other three groups. They were laborers, farm workers, and servants. This caste system was based on occupation, means if you are in a teaching profession, you will be known as Brahman. If you are working as a farmer, craftsman, merchant, or trader, you will be known as Vaishyas. And if you are serving the other three groups, you will be known as the Shudras. It was not hereditary. Means it was not like if your father is a Brahman, you will be also a Brahman. If your father is a Brahman and you have chosen to become a farmer, you will be known as Vaishya while your father is a Brahman. So it was all based on occupation. And intercaste marriages were also common. In the Rig Veda, there is a reference to a family in which the father is a physician, the mother a grinder of corn, and the son a poet. The Aryans lived in joint families, and these families are also known as Kula. And the eldest member was the head of the family, and he was known as Grihapati. And the women in the early Vedic period were respected a lot. And they attended the Samiti meetings and participated in religious ceremonies. There was no custom of child marriage, and women who were widows were allowed to remarry. And women were also involved in composing hymns. Aryans ate barley, fruits, vegetables, and meat. Milk and dairy products such as butter and ghee formed an important part of their diet. Besides this, there were two type of liquor. One is sura, that was drunk on common festive occasions, and soma was drunk on special religious ceremonies. Men and women wore garments that consisted of two parts, one covering the upper body part and the other covered the lower body part. Sheep's wool was used for weaving cloth. Men tied turbans and carried a small cloth over their shoulders. Both men and women wore ornaments of gold and silver. For their entertainment, they participated in chariot racing, hunting, gambling, singing, dancing, and they also played musical instruments. Cattle rearing and agriculture were the main occupations of the people. Other common occupations were pottery making, weaving, metalworking, carpentry, and tanning. If you talk about the religious life of the people, they worshipped the forces of nature such as wind, water, rain, thunder, and fire. They worshipped Indra, the god of rain, and he was the most important god. He was the destroyer of enemies, and then the Surya, the sun god, and Varuna, the god of sky, and Agni, the god of fire. They recited hymns and prayers in the praise of gods, and they prayed in open and did not believe in the idol worshipping. That means they did not worship any idol. And on the very special occasions also they performed yagnas and made offerings to God. Gradually, these practices became so important that after every important event, there had to be a grand ritual. If you talk about economic life, as I told you, the Aryans were nomads and they moved from one place to another. and they were not as urbanized as Indus Valley people. They were more like the people who live in village. Their main occupation was agriculture, and because of that they domesticated cows. Cow also became the matter of status symbol, and Arjan's prosperity was estimated in terms of the number of cows he owned. And then the horse was also an important animal, and it was used to pull chariots. Aryans knew how to cultivate different crops, and people used plows pulled by bulls and oxen. All the agricultural implements were made of either wood or copper, since they did not discover the use of iron. So, here we finish the political organization, social life, religious life, and economic life of early Vedic period. Hope you have understood everything properly. Still, if there is any doubt, please ask. Thank you.